This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss, Paulie Howard with you live downtown Vegas. Circa Resort Casino is your spot. A fun 3-hour program lined up today. Reaction to what took place over this weekend. First of all, it was madness with the sports betting, all of it, including the Masters coming up here in a few minutes. We'll get to the NBA playoffs quite often throughout today's show. A lot of angles there. Tonight's NHL card, Major League Baseball, NFL draft. Trevor Sikkema on that event coming up in about 10 days. That's in 30 minutes on the program. Jonathan Davis on the NHL. We have a little Do You Concur action, Paulie. And I cannot believe still, and now we're almost 24 hours removed. It's our turn to talk about the Masters now. How did basically not a single golfer other than Scottie Scheffler make a run at Rory yesterday? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Rose, took the lead. Henley was right there the entire time. Young could never put it together. And Rory, who was 12 under as we closed the show on Friday, and you're going to hear some audio from that coming up in a minute, dipped all the way down to 9. Bunch of guys were in front of him, and then he just gets it together, levels out, and then nobody put it. Like, what happened there?
You would have bet everything you had that he wouldn't win once he goes double bogey and he's 9 under, that 12 under would win the tournament.
Yeah.
That he would do it. You could still say, okay, maybe he has a case. He could still rally. He's a great player. But not with that score. That, early on Sunday, that he's 9 under, but 12 under wins the damn thing. And then when we got off the air Friday, we were pissed off. Like, okay, it's a rout. There's no way anyone's going to catch. He's 12 under after Friday, and that's the winning score also that holds up. That's insanity what happened. And there was so much going on with the collapses, and could Scheffler make a run? You did say the only way to attack this Friday night was win or without. And Scheffler cashed at 22-1 if you did that. But
that would have been a nice move.
He was right there. I know it could have been better on Saturday. He saved so many pars early on the front 9 Sunday. It seemed like he had a birdie putt every hole on the back 9 and just couldn't catch him. Hatton came out of nowhere. Henley came out of nowhere. Rose was the favorite for some time, no good. And then there was incredible turnarounds, which we'll get to in a second. But what Cam Young did to start the tournament, 4 over, and then the next 2 rounds he had 17 birdies and 2 bogeys, and you thought he was going to pull away.
Sure. Man, oh man, the exacta Rory 1, Scotty 2 was 50-1. He's 12 strokes back entering Saturday. And I got to tell you, watching all the coverage like everybody else did, right? I don't know how Scotty didn't win the tournament. I thought, he reacted over the top to the question after Saturday when the person said, what did it feel like, rather than a 65? And he got pissed off, and he goes, that's absurd.
Well, Amanda asked him the same question on CBS, too.
It was not an absurd question. And the people that think it was, trust me, it was not. That's a totally fair question. Maybe he could have phrased it a little bit differently because, again, it felt to me like he could have had a 62 out there on Saturday, and he left a lot of holes or a lower score on the course that day. And if he didn't do that, he's the winner. Because let's be honest here, Rory did not even play. I guess, what does it say about him? He didn't even play well, and he's your winner back-to-back years. Why do I say that? After round 2, 91 players in the field. The player in 91st place for driving accuracy was 91st on the scoreboard. The player in 90th place for driving accuracy was Rory McIlroy.
That's another reason why I thought it was over, too. But this guy can't hit a tee shot straight to save his life.
No.
But it just shows how good he is that he made it interesting on 18 when it shouldn't have been either. He was minus 5,000 in play. And then it got hairy after the tee shot went awry on 18.
There's also another great tweet from Justin Ray, auto follow on X. McIlroy became the first Masters champion in history to lose strokes to the field over the last 36 holes. And he's the winner.
Yeah.
And Saturday was unbelievable golf. Yesterday was turning out to be, and then just nobody could catch him again. Scotty was the only guy who made a run.
Yeah, because right away Saturday, he gives a couple back, and Reed gets to 9 under, and all of a sudden the 6-shot lead's down to 2. And then Reed implodes. Other guys fall off the wayside. I mean, I don't see how you can ever bet Hatong Lee in an event where you just know the implosion's coming.
Mamma mia.
Right? And that shot he hit on Saturday in the water, which that's something you would do. They're not a professional golfer. And then you think he's still in the mix for top 5, and he has what? He have the 8. He had a 10 on one hole and finished +1. How he imploded. But, you know, what Harman did, Harman started with 7 bogeys. Then he had a 13 birdie run over the next 2 rounds. Cantlay was in the mix. He was 5 over in the first round. And then the next 2 rounds, 11 birdies and no bogeys. But there's always something to bet and follow, even if you don't have the winner. The top 5, the top 10s, the top 15s, the top 20, incredible. Fitzpatrick gets there again. Hovland somehow finds his game. Cantlay comes out of nowhere. Koepka in the mix. He gets there. And then the top 10s as well. And no problem for Schauffele, who finished 9th after he just disappears.
Naturally, he did.
Yeah, we'll rip the coverage later. But
that's who he is and what he does.
You didn't see the guy for 2 rounds.
No kidding.
But Schauffele finished 8 under as well. And I don't know how Morikawa did it. And he got a lot of people. And he got me on because we were on the air when Nance on 15 Friday said, oh, the back's got him. The back's acting up. And Morikawa shoots 9 under, tied for 7th, and he could barely walk out there.
Colin Morikawa, it's as if he went into a Bass Pro Shops before the event in Augusta on Wednesday night, grabbed the shiniest, sharpest fillet knife that they offer in the entire market, said, I'll take one of these. Shot at 2 over on Thursday, proceeded to shoot 11 under on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and took that fillet knife right into my kidneys on Sunday night and said, huh? How does that feel, buddy? That's what you get for betting against me as much as you did. All I can do is tip my cap to Colin Morikawa. He absolutely crushed me and my betting accounts because I lost everything on all my bets that I had against him. And he deserves a ton of credit because you're spot on. Watching that guy out there go birdie, 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 birdie on the back 9 consecutively, he could, and they were showing the highlights again because of the coverage. The guy he looked like he had been in 4 car accidents.
Yep.
And he was 83 years old. He could barely walk up and down.
Yep.
That's incredible what he did.
Mm-hmm. How about Lowry? To have the ultimate high and the ultimate low, where that guy hits only the 7th hole-in-one on hole 6 in history, and he's right there only a couple shots back, and then it turned out to be a disaster for him, and how bad he played down the stretch. And that was available at DraftKings, by the way, in cash 10-1. Would there be a hole-in-one on number 6?
Yep. I'll tell you the guy that I feel awful for coming up in a minute, but if you listen to the show at all on Friday, come on, man, we told you who was going to win the event.
Crazy.
Are you serious?
Oh, come on.
Are you serious?
Is that an eagle? Oh, go home. Go home.
Oh, my God. Rory on 17.
The 12 under?
No, that's
11.
Only a birdie, but he was in the trees to start.
Come on.
Got out of it.
It's not fun anymore.
Look at this chip shot. You got to be bleeping kidding me.
Like Bridgman yesterday.
I'm calling her. It's over.
Yeah, what's he now?
The tournament's over.
Hold on. Yeah, $1.70, minus 170 to win the tournament. Oh God, it's a 5-shot lead over our buddy Pat.
I cannot believe he made that shot.
Yeah, well, it's fun for a while. That's it.
Boy, this escalated. I mean, this is not even in an hour. He went from being tied to 5 up now on everybody.
That sucks.
That's horrible. Well, we told you.
Yep. And he got to minus 250 because then he birdied the next hole. But then, as we just said, though, I can't believe the quick turnaround that the 6-shot lead goes down to 2.
I know.
Just like that on Saturday, and then he implodes to start on Sunday. A lot of guts, a lot of moxie, because that was an ugly double bogey early on.
Oh, for sure. He could have absolutely collapsed.
Yes.
And for him, I mean, that is, the old Rudy Tomjanovich line. You can never underestimate the heart of a champion. And Roy did it back-to-back. And, it looked vile and nasty there for a stretch yesterday. And the collapse was all too real. And he just, gathered himself and picked himself off the mat and went to... So, again, any regret not betting him?
No, just because of the history. Only 3 guys had gone back-to-back. And only 3 of the last 17... 3 of the last 20, whatever. Yeah. 3 of the last 17, the last 20 years had gone top 10.
It's easy for me to say this now, but he was more than double the price than last year. So that he got almost a 17-1. David Baker had him.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm running it right back. Had him last year. He said,
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun. I got to do it again this year at that price. It's the number. You're not betting golfers, right? You don't bet teams, you bet numbers.
Yeah.
And little bit of regret there at that number. But
Well, it was right there, though, for several guys.
No doubt.
Just because of what the winning score was. Scheffler could have had it. Hatton was too late. Rose had it. Cam had it. Sam Burns had it. Sam Burns could have won the damn thing, but he imploded.
Yeah, you're right. I would agree. Here's the guy that I feel really bad for. Tied for third this year, second last year, seventh in 2021, second in 2017. He's got another 10th, tied for second, tied for eighth, and a tied for fifth in his career. And it's Justin Rose. I didn't have a penny on Justin Rose. It would have been awesome to see him win.
Yeah. Look at the plus 120 yesterday at one point. Couldn't do it.
Because I know we said this last year when he made the playoff with Rory, he couldn't win. He's like, and we all were like, how many more chances does he have?
Yep.
He had another chance this year. And he actually tweeted about it. And I don't know. I've never met the guy, never talked to him. I've said this before. It feels to me like Justin Rose is a really good dude. And he's like, I'll see you next year, Augusta. Maybe I can finally get it done. It would be pretty awesome to have that guy win one of these, man. He's been that close that many times in his career, and he can never pull it out. That stings, man. That stings. And what's it going to look like just moving forward when Scotty puts it all together? No more of this early round shenanigans.
You got to stay away from that, I know. Yes.
12 back entering Saturday.
Yeah.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda won the event.
Yes.
All right, we'll get into these play-in games and the NBA playoffs coming up next. You can make the case for, I think anyway, some dogs, either with the points or to win a series. We'll discuss next on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Who's your friend?
Oh, this is AI Sports Betting Bot 3000. Watch this.
Hello, bet $100 on Chicago.
Great idea. Too bad Chicago's not playing.
You just passed the test. Put it on New York.
You know their goalie just got injured.
No.
Automated bet tracking, community data-driven insight. Download the app free and bet smarter with Juice Reel.
Good robot.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Responsible sports betting starts with a game plan. That means stick to a budget. Keep it social by playing with friends. Learn the game and know the odds. Play with trusted legal operators. And if you need help, reach out. If you're getting in on the action, visit haveagameplan.org to learn more.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
So can we say finally the NBA regular season has come to an end? And now we're going to get real basketball every night, starting tomorrow night? No more tanking.
Yep.
No more of the nonsense.
Going to be fun.
It should be really, really good.
Yep. It was a great close to the season, too, yesterday. There was some shocking upsets.
Well, that and how many games went over the total, and
that too.
My goodness, the points off the charts that were scored in some of these games. I will point this out that in the play-in game of what we have set for tomorrow and then on Wednesday, I'm a little surprised at the Hornets' number against the Heat, that they're favored by this many points. I bring that up because the Heat beat them 3 out of 4 times this year, and in those 3 wins, they beat them 144-117, 126-108. And the last game was in March. It was a devastating loss to the Hornets and their playoff/division chances. When Miami came back, then Charlotte had no answer for Hero and company, and they scored 128 and beat them again. Charlotte was actually a better road team than home team, 5 games above 500 on the road. Now Miami is terrible on the road, but here's the rub: Hero and Powell are questionable. I would suspect they're going to play. Spoelstra and the Heat have advanced out of the play-in 3 straight years against a team that's never been here or done it before. I think 5.5 is too many points.
Year 4, but they also have a fantastic A game with wins at OKC, Los Angeles, Boston. They beat Denver. They beat the Knicks. 120 points per 100 possessions going back on offense since January 6th. That loss to Miami was bad. Also, the start, 11-23. That was their record January 2nd. So look at the positives, how they're able to turn this around, but still couldn't find their way into the 7 or the 8 seed. Trying to end the 9-year playoff drought. I also think it's too many points, but should be a fantastic game. But it goes. What Ball's been good, but Ball takes a lot of crazy shots though too. So what Ball am I going to get? Will Knippel have a big game? But certainly a lot of talent, and that starting 5 we've mentioned since early January, how good they've been. But the bad start got them, and certainly it's hard to go against Spoelstra in a big game too. And the other thing, Miami embarrassed themselves in the first round, so they did come in and win this and get in. But then they got swept by Cleveland, and the 2 games in Miami were an absolute embarrassment. So should be an entertaining game, and rooting for Charlotte. But I do think it's too many points. They were one of the biggest surprises of the NBA season. Their win total was 27.5. They finished with 44. The biggest was San Antonio, 44.5 projected wins. They won 62. San Antonio, Charlotte, Boston, and Detroit. Your biggest surprises in terms of going over their win total.
Yeah,
expected.
That Charlotte number moved quite a bit though as well. So you could actually say that they went over by about 20 games based on the opening number. I don't know. I think again I also listened to the Hardwood Handicappers podcast today here at VSiN with Zach Cohen. I agree with what he said. I want to throw this at you. He said if you go back a week to 10 days, basically, the Eastern Conference playoffs look like they were going to be an absolute banger. And he goes, now how things have changed. You have the Embiid appendicitis and status unknown there moving forward.
Yep.
And also the fact that the Hornets are not locked into the top 6. His biggest takeaway, if we would have the Hornets as the 6 taking on the Knicks as the 3, oh my God, that's an unbelievable series.
Yep. That didn't work out for the Knicks, though. The Knicks went 5-0 against Toronto. So with the shocking win by Boston, that takes them. I cannot, and I know you don't want to be prisoner of the moment, but how do you say give me the Magic on Wednesday? As bad as they looked, they were up 10 in that game, and still trying to get the 7 seed or improve, or maybe get the 6. And the Celtics backup beat you, and you couldn't stop Shireman and Garza, and you lose that game as a 14-point favorite in that game.
Yeah.
But now you're right. What Philly team am I going to get? And who knows the status of Embiid moving forward? But I do think it didn't work out. The Knicks have a tough matchup against the Red Hot Hawks, which is a good game and a good series. And the Knicks were only a 280 favorite when that opened up.
You think the Hawks have a fighting chance?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that game was excellent last Monday. The McCollum half court, and the only reason they won that game is Brunson was Superman. So I think that's going to be I like that over 5.5 games in the series, -140.
Okay, what about the other one that's set right now in the Eastern Conference? Are we positive that the Cavaliers are going to run the Raptors out?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, and then after that, can we agree that it's probably not going to go well for the Cavaliers?
No, I will not say that.
Okay.
I respect Detroit, but that'll be an entertaining series. full marks to Bickerstaff and what they did to get the 1 seed, and also how they kept winning games without Cade. But I think that'll be a competitive series, and Cleveland can push them.
Here's the problem with Toronto is that they don't take a lot of threes, and the Cavaliers with their guard play. And oh, by the way, now quickly, also there's questions about him and his status. I got to go back and double check that to confirm. I saw that a little bit before the show, and now I'm blanking exactly what that said. But this, honestly, the Cavaliers, if this is like an embarrassment like last year against the Pacers, then I don't know what to do moving forward.
Got to probably clean house.
No kidding. You have to take care of this team right away in the series.
Mike Brown's coaching for his job. Maybe he's got to win 2 series. You can't go to the conference finals and fire your coach and then have an earlier exit and expect Brown to survive. Not to mention one of the few times ever Dolan did an interview and said we have enough pieces here to go to the finals. And certainly what's going on in Orlando is ugly. Mosley coaching for his job, and maybe that's not enough. You don't give up 4 picks to get a guy you think it's going to put you over the edge and you're in the play-in game. That's the other one.
No, disappointing season there.
And I know we talked to Rizzo as well. It's huge for Mitchell, and it's big for Atkinson. Because if they go out in the second round, not that it'd be embarrassing, but still, no respect. Detroit's got the 4th best odds to win the conference, and they're the 1 seed.
I would agree.
But if you lose that series, they're probably going to make a coaching change in Cleveland, too. And big change is coming.
Yeah, so here is the latest on Emmanuel quickly for the Raptors. Mild hamstring strain and is considered day-to-day. Okay. And then what about the Western Conference as well? How that played out yesterday. I know we're going to dive into this a little bit later on, Paulie, but what the hell are the Spurs doing?
You have to win that game.
Why'd they do that?
They're a smart organization. They started load management. They're huge into analytics. They surprised a lot of people and took Kawhi Leonard when coming out of college. He didn't have much of a jump shot. They turned him into a superstar. You know, he put in hard work as well, but he went to the perfect organization. They draft Kawhi. They go to the finals. He wins the MVP. But one organization doesn't say you have to play your guys there and knock out Denver. It's just simple math and simple. I only have to beat Denver or OKC once as opposed to twice. So you can say, well, I'm not afraid of anybody, but they just beat you in a great game in Denver a couple weeks ago. You could have knocked them out of your side of the bracket where they would have played OKC and you get the winner. Yeah. So you get an easier first round matchup a little bit, but it's night and day to say I can avoid Denver in the second round and the best player in the world in Joker. Yeah. I cannot believe they didn't play people and that Denver plays Joker and that's good enough and they run them out.
That's all you got to know about this decision is that now if both those teams win in advance, the Spurs are going to take on Nikola Jokic. That's it. That's all you have to say. Like they could have avoided that in the second round.
Yeah, you got a week off anyways. I don't understand why they didn't come out and put the hammer down. You had to win that game if you were the Spurs to get them out of the other side of the bracket. And Chad Andrus, our friend from Denver, was on Friday. He said, well, it's about health, but also it's not if, it's when Aaron Gordon's going to get hurt. So his rationale was maybe it's better to play OKC in the second round.
Right.
Because Gordon's going to get hurt. And they sat everyone Friday, still beat the Thunder, and they sat 4 starters yesterday, double-digit dogs, still won the game, and Joker was enough. And that is
Crazy.
One of the worst beats I've ever seen if you had Denver's win total under. They closed on a 12-game winning streak. They won yesterday as a double-digit dog, and they sat all their starters Friday and still beat the Thunder, even though it was the Thunder backups. That's how you lost the Denver win total if you had it under by a hook.
And I'll say this about the other series as well. Are we positive that Luka can't come back if this series extends to like 5, 6, 7 games? Do we know that whatever he did in Spain is not going to come back and like be the magic elixir and he's going to be good to go?
I can't see it. If that's a 4 to 6 week injury.
Well, I mean who knows what they have over in Spain that we don't have? We probably have it here, but it's considered illegal. So that's why he had to go over and have it done.
Well, but at least they have some confidence now, and I don't think it's going to. I think the price is a little carried away.
Well, so here's the thing, right? They just, again, now, if you go back and rewind to when the Lakers were in the middle of that impressive winning streak, they were healthy, but it was an awful schedule situation for the Lakers when they went to Houston and played back-to-back. It was 2 games in 3 nights. And they won both of them.
Yeah.
And they were awful spots for the Lakers, and they won. But I don't trust this Rockets team as far as you can throw them.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So all I'm saying, if LeBron can be LeBron and go out there and be like Superman for a game out of these first 2, and suddenly we get, look at this. Here's the old Undertaker meme with Luka Doncic. He's ready to go by game 3. I think the price seems a little crazy to me.
Ayton was good. Hachimura played well down the stretch. LeBron was awesome. Houston was bad on defense down the stretch, and they're horrible in close games. And I question their offense in close games. So, and that was a ridiculous loss on Friday. You trust this defense? You gave up 136 points to Minnesota at home?
I don't trust them at all.
So, with the Lakers' good home court, I think it can be interesting. I certainly think the total's too low in Game 1 as well.
NFL draft coming up next. How does this report with Ruben Bain impact his draft position? And which player would go to the Jets at number 2 overall if the draft was held tonight?
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
So the first round of the NFL draft is next Thursday. We'll talk about it here and every day moving forward. Touched on it quite a bit last week as well. But right now we go out to the progressive guest line as Trevor Sikkema joins the program. NFL Stock Exchange Show at Tampa Bay Trey on X as well. What's going on, man? Thanks for the time today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Appreciate you guys having me and what is obviously a very exciting time of the football calendar, so I appreciate it.
No doubt. Let's get into the, I guess, the biggest news probably from the weekend involving the draft, and that would be Miami defensive lineman Ruben Bain. Now, this report comes out that he was cited back in 2024 for an auto accident. Later, a passenger died that was involved. He got careless driving back in March of that year. So what do you think this is going to mean for his overall position where he could go next Thursday night?
Well, it seems like since the news has been more public that a lot of people who are really plugged into the league, a lot of the insiders, a lot of people who talk to teams, have close relationships with teams, they're saying that these teams have known about this for a while. And obviously this is something that happened back in 2024, and not to downplay the severity of the incident at all whatsoever, but it feels as though teams have already had a lot of time to vet and process what this means to them. So Ruben Bain sort of being more of a projected like back end of the top 10, maybe right outside of the top 10 type of a player. I don't think this is like a Laramie Tunsil incident again, where all of a sudden, teams are frantically trying to find information that they didn't know previously that's going to cause him to fall super far down the board. I just don't feel like that's going to be the case. And again, not to downplay any part of what happened, it just doesn't seem like it's breaking news to teams. So they've had enough time to really think about this, process this, and then really evaluate the player with this in mind.
Is Cincinnati the fit at 10?
I think Cincinnati could certainly be a fit at 10. I know that they went with Shamar Stewart last year, but they have to get better along the defensive line. I mean, there's no question about it. You look at a player who plays with a lot of power, a lot of physicality. You could play him as a 3-tech. You could play him as a 4-eye, a 5 technique, even stand him up in a 2-point stance as an outside linebacker. I think Ruben Bain as a player is a top 3 overall player in this class. I just love what he's been able to do every single time that he has been out there on the field. Obviously, Miami goes through the entire college football playoff and national championship journey, and he was elite through all of it. He was an elite run defender, an elite pass rusher, had top-tier passes win percentage to him, won in a variety of different ways, and won in a lot of ways that honestly is very translatable to the NFL. And I think that that'd be very different than what Cincinnati has drafted lately. And when I say different, I mean in a good way. I feel like they have gone after edge rushers who were very traitsy, whether they had the long arms or the big build or great combines or whatever it is, but the production has not been there for them. And I think, unfortunately, we've seen Cincinnati's defensive line just not play very well because of it. This is a player who has absolutely produced at the highest level in college football. And so I think that he could absolutely be in play for the Bengals at 10.
Trevor, I've read speculation going back probably the last week or so that some people are expecting teams to be extremely active next Thursday. In fact, projecting maybe an all-time high for trades. Are you kind of hearing the same thing?
I am hearing that teams would like to be active, right? But it takes two to tango. And unfortunately, you're in a situation where I think a lot more teams want to move down than want to move up. It's not really a move up type of a draft class, because when you think about it, what players do you move up for? You move up for pass rushers, you move up for pass protectors, and then of course quarterbacks. Well, quarterbacks, the first one's going to go off the board at number 1. And then maybe somebody trades back up into the back end of the first round for Ty Simpson, although I just don't feel like that's got a lot of steam as of right now. Pass rushers, there are some good pass rushers to be had, guys who have a lot of talent, but Ruben Baines obviously got the off the field thing, but also comes with smaller arms. David Bailey, he's kind of just a speed rusher. Arvell Reese, he's not even a full-time edge rusher. So we're getting in a situation where, are you really going to trade future draft capital, whether it's this year or next year, to move up for players that aren't sure things? It's not like people are trading up for Aiden Hutchinson, that he's not a guy like that's not in this class. A Myles Garrett, a Von Miller, like those players aren't in this class. So yeah, I think there's a lot of chatter about teams really want to be active, but with nobody really wanting to trade 2027 draft capital, and with a lot of teams probably not seeing this class as one where you got to go up and get this certain player, I just wonder if it's just going to be a bunch of teams who want to move back and they just don't have dance partners for it.
You think Sadiq could fall or go later than what's projected? He's 15.5 at DraftKings. Where do you think he winds up?
Yeah, I'd go, over on that 15.5 mark simply because he's not really built like a tight end that you would take super high. Athletically, sure, but he's got the athleticism, didn't really have the receiving production to show for it. If he was a over 1,000-yard receiver at Oregon, like, I think we're having a different conversation here. But instead, you have to look at a guy who's got shorter measurables. He's right around 240 pounds. He's got shorter arms to him. And so, sure, he'll give you his all as a blocker, but anytime he's going one-on-one against an NFL defensive end, it's not going to go well for him. He's much more of a behind the line of scrimmage and a wing back type of a blocker than he is somebody that you want to put in line all the time. So then if you're going to draft him in the top 15, you're basically leaning on who he is going to be as a receiver. And again, the production just wasn't really there for him. So I see him going over that 15.5 mark. It's kind of tough because I know that people don't really know what to do with a tight end who's this athletic, but I just feel he's much more of a fringe top 20 player than he is somebody who's guaranteed to go in the top 15.
Okay, so what you're saying is I have a bet on the Chiefs at 14-1 to take a tight end with their first pick in the draft. I have a chance to cash out and make a very tiny profit. Would you do that if you were me?
I think so. I would, because I don't think they're going to do it at 9. So the only way I think that they do it is if they trade it back. Okay. But then at that point, again, like, you're kind of stacking the odds against yourself, betting for something that's already sort of a long shot to happen anyways. So with sort of like logic and probability, yeah, sure, I think that pairing Sadiq with Travis Kelce could be an interesting combo. I just don't see the Chiefs doing it at number 9.
Fair enough. Do you think we're going to get 2 running backs in the first round?
I think there's certainly a chance. And I think that there's been a lot of steam lately for getting Jadarian Price's name into the back end of first rounds. He's the other Notre Dame running back. And I feel like people watch him, and his best play is, he's somebody who returned kicks at Notre Dame, returned 3 of them for a touchdown. He's somebody who, man, if you put him in wide zone rushing schemes, you give him a rushing lane and he could take it a mile. I mean, this is an explosive player when it comes to that running back position. So I think there's a chance that could happen. But the problem is that when you start talking about making bets like this, you always like having some extra guys to be able to lean on, right? Like if you say to yourself, oh, a certain amount of offensive linemen, like I see that number right there, over 7.5, you always like to tell yourself like, okay, well, I can list off 6 offensive tackles that I think can go in the first round. And then I'm sitting here with Vega Ioane from Penn State. He's going. So that's 6 or 7 right there. And then you just need maybe one more of Chase Bistontis or Emmanuel Pregnon or Keelan Rutledge. One of those guys has to go in the first round, but you're playing your odds with 3 players. The reason why I don't love a 2 running back in the first round bet is because Jadarian Price is basically it. I don't see any other running back that a team would consider there in the first round. And so if I already kind of think it's a long shot for Price to get in there, like if there aren't a lot of teams that would be taking him at the back end of the first round, it's hard for me to really put some money on a bet that's going to make that happen. It's just the probability is just really low.
Okay, so let's pretend the draft was tonight, not next Thursday. Mm-hmm. The Jets would take, this could change again a dozen times between now and then. The Jets would take who at number 2 if the draft was tonight?
I know all the steam is on David Bailey. I still think it's Arvell Reese. I still think it's going to be Arvell Reese because Reese is the more Aaron Glenn player. He is the more violent player. I mean, he is somebody who plays with more physicality. You could play him off the ball as a linebacker. You play him on the ball as an edge rusher. I just think he brings so much more to a scheme that is clearly trying to get more versatile this offseason. And that athletic ability is totally there for him. If you wanted somebody who was more of a proven pass rusher, I can understand it for David Bailey. But I just have a hard time believing that he is just going to be a runaway at number 2 overall, especially when I think much higher of Reese and the physicality that he gets to play with. That's an Aaron Glenn type of a player, in my opinion. So to me, it almost comes down to who's really calling the shots. Is it a short-term or a long-term thing with Aaron Glenn and then Darren Muji, the general manager? If Muji loves David Bailey, okay, then I guess I could understand that them going with him at number 2. But if Aaron Glenn's involved at all whatsoever, and if it's a conversation, I have to think it's Reese because I just think that he plays more of a versatile and physical role that the Jets are going to want.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Trevor, in like 30 seconds here, you have a long shot to go top 10 right now. The safety from Oregon is about 13-1. But who do you like here?
Yeah, I mean, he is the guy that I would take a chance on as that ticket to maybe go in the top 10. I think Dylan Thieneman is he's too good. He's a top 10 overall player on my board. He could play as a single high safety. He could play as a box safety. He could play as a nickel defender. He'll play at the linebacker level for you. He'll force all sorts of turnovers. I mean, he's got the athleticism that you love to draft in the top 10. I think Thieneman's a good bet because I think he's a heck of a football player.
That's 13-1 right now at DraftKings. Follow Trevor on X at Tampa Bay Trey. The show is called the NFL Stock Exchange Show as well. That was awesome, man. Thank you so much for the time. We appreciate that.
Appreciate it, guys. Anytime.
Thank you.
He joined us on the Progressive Guest Line. Paulie's going to recap the madness from the sports betting weekend coming up next in Win Some, Lose Some.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Your favorite VSiN shows and personalities are now available to download as podcasts. Catch every hour of our live broadcast with VSiN Best Bets, or find your go-to show and download it directly. Get instant reactions to last night's games, sharp analysis on today's biggest matchups, and everything in between. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just catching up, VSiN lets you take the action with you wherever and whenever you want. Search VSiN on your favorite podcast platform and get in on the action with VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Masters, Rory McIlroy, 16-1. Hole-in-one, yes, minus 160. Hole-in-one on number 6, yes, 10-1. Only the 7th time that's happened. Winner without market. Saturday, Scheffler was 22-1. Late game overs yesterday, NBA 7-1. Overs for the day, 12-3. Denver money line 4-1. Boston money line 6-1. Shireman was great. Garza was great. Harper was phenomenal. Suns plus 280. Routed OKC. Friday, Jazz Grizzlies. First time ever 3 players in the same game had a triple-double. First time ever 2 did it, and they were coming off the bench.
Remember what I said about that game on Friday?
It was, yes.
I said in a perfect world, this should be a dead under.
Yeah.
And it was 248.5. Remember the final score?
What did it land?
147-101.
Oh, God.
Are you
so
serious?
Many games like that, I know. That happened a lot of games yesterday, too, with the landing spot. I know. It's nuts.
It really is.
Houston Rockets and the Nets went under their win total by a half. You could have middled the Denver Nuggets win total. The best teams, San Antonio, Charlotte, Boston, and Detroit, exceeded expectations and flew over their win totals. The biggest disappointments, Indiana was 37.5, 119. Dallas 41.5, 126. Memphis 39.5, 125. Sacramento bringing Doug Christie back. 34.5, they won 22. Golden State, they had injuries. A lot of teams had injuries or tanking and what happened. Golden State 47.5, they won 37. In February, the Atlanta Hawks were 11-1 to win the division. They got there. UFC, Holberg, round 1, 6-1. Blew out his knee and still won. Padilla, draw, 70-1. Costa to win in round 3, 12-1. Swanson, round 1, 6-1. Suarez by sub, 11-1. Gamrot, sub, 12-1. Luque, submission, 18-1. To win in round 1, 12-1. Lower league soccer. Coventry, Sheffield Wednesday, draw, 9-1. That's the best team against the worst team. That's now 2 draws for Sheffield Wednesday going back.
I was going to say, my God, 9-1 for a draw?
Yeah, best against the worst, no
that's
doubt.
The highest number you're going to see.
Portsmouth, 5-1. You have life again. Arsenal trying to give this away. Bournemouth, 6 plus 650. Arsenal lost, Man City won, and they play Sunday. This just got interesting now in the Prem. Arsenal down to 160. Cheltenham Town plus 380 in League 2. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com. Our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in, we'll put you on. This gnome statue that the people were buying at the Masters. If you bought the gnome in 2016 at Augusta, someone sold it for $28,000. The original price is $35. Wow. Why are people going crazy for this toy? Look at this thing. This is all the rage over social media, too. Imagine you pay $35 for it, and then you sell it for almost 30 grand. Look at that thing. I said there was a guy dressed up as him, too, on Sunday. That was crazy. Plenty of lose some. Spurs, here we go. What a day it was yesterday in the association. The Spurs opened 2.5, closed 10. Magic from 4 up to 13.5. Both teams couldn't even win the game. Friday, the Thunder, 11.5 down to 2.5, no good. Denver sat all 5 starters. A lose some video from Bulldogs here. Guys, there's another bet off to the side. What do you all 3 guys, right? I don't know how the one guy's falling asleep. I don't know how he does it. But the other 2 wrestling. And this guy's trying to find some space here. Well, there's another bed sitting off to the right. They could be comfortable and take your own bed, but they got to be next to each other.
Not stubborn, man.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, the guy's sleeping against the wall trying to fit on that bed. Ridiculous. Look at that. I don't know, the one guy's out cold. Bad for the books. Warriors, 8.5 down to 4, fell 5. No Kawhi. Wizards, 16.5 down to 10.5, fell 13. The Heat opened up a 6-point dog. And then word leaked out, well, Atlanta's not going to play people. Doesn't matter if they're the 5 or the 6. They win the tiebreakers because they're division champs.
The Heat closed +6 to -10.5. Ran them out. Hornets 5.5 up to 14.5. Knicks didn't care, routed. Raptors 19 up to 24.5. They also covered. Pelicans 10.5 down to 5. They got the money. Favorites went 12-2 straight up on Friday, and the Timberwolves shocked Houston 4-1 as well. In a vicious beat, the Denver win total at FanDuel and other spots was 53.5. They ended on a 12-game winning streak, sat their starters, all starters on Friday, sat their starters except Joker yesterday, 10-point dogs. That's how they go over their win total, and they get to 54. That is ridiculous.
No, that is historically bad.
Yeah. Baseball every day. Playoffs start tomorrow. Sharp Plays covers it all. They've been winning for 15 straight years. It's all documented, posted publicly at sharpplays.com. Rare in this industry with that transparency. When they move, the books take notice. Trusted insider intel. They find the value before the numbers shift. Respected, watched, and feared. Mr. Poison tweets every day. Start winning with them at sharpplays.com. Jeff and the crew been with us since day one. Sharpplays.com.
Well, I'm trying to look for a number on this as well because Josh Naylor just homered for the second time today. I believe he has all 5 RBIs for the Mariners. They're up 5-0 right now over the Astros. The only day game today in baseball. He was plus 625 to hit a home run, maybe a little bit higher than that. Obviously, he was slumping to begin pretty much the entire season.
Oh, they all were. They broke out of it.
No doubt. So he must have been what I never look at 2 home runs. So if he's plus 625 to hit 1, what is he to hit 2? Like 20-1 in that range? And entering this game today, so this is the 4th game of a 4-game set. The Astros needed innings out of Burrows, the starter, and he is giving them absolutely nothing. Their bullpen pitched 19-plus innings the previous, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They combined to pitch pretty much every single inning against the Mariners so far. Wow.
Sweep them.
Yep.
That's going to be 8 in a row.
Is this a bet to the over, you think? Or here's what we're going to get in this game. The Astros are going to throw a positional player out there to pitch.
Okay.
And I think this is one of those angles where Kirby's on the mound for the Mariners with this big of a lead, and if it keeps going, that means they don't have to throw their best relievers out there.
5.5 in play, 9.5 the total.
9.5 might be a little bit too light.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I think we get a position player here to pitch today.
Not a bad look. Not bad. How about the collapse by the Red Wings? They were an 89% to make the playoffs January 25th. No playoffs for Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. Good card tonight in hockey. Only a couple games left. Vegas can win the division. I don't know how Colorado's favored against Edmonton. Vegas got the big win in Edmonton on Saturday. Huge Flyers winning in. Jonathan Davis coming up to give out his plays in about half an hour. And the Kings, I think, need a couple more points, and they'll lock up a spot too.
I'm going to the Golden Knights game tonight.
Oh, right.
So I feel like I almost have to have a bet on the game. I don't feel like a real person if I go to a game and don't have a bet on it. So, JD, if you're listening, come equipped with like your best bet on that game tonight. I have nothing in pocket as of right now. This is a great job by our producer, Luke, to answer the question, by the way, about Josh Naylor. For some reference here, Nolan Arenado coming up is about plus 620 to hit a home run, 71-1 to hit 2 at DK. I was way off.
Wow.
On 20-1. Okay.
How about this season? Who's good other than the Dodgers? Half the league is like 6-9 or 9-6. This is the strangest season I recall. The Twins are tied for first. Tampa,
they have the best record in the American League.
Yeah, 9-7 is the best record. How about that? Atlanta's 10-6. Pittsburgh's 9-6. These are first place teams. Texas 8-7. The A's were awful. Now they've won 5 in a row. The Yankees have lost 5 in a row. 8-7, 9-7, 8-7.
Sure.
Those are your 3 first-place teams in the American League.
Well, I'll tell you what.
And the worst record in baseball is 6-10. This is the damnedest thing.
True parity this year in baseball.
Yeah, right.
So I have a bet on the Pirates for most wins in the month of April. They're trending right there. What a horrible loss that was yesterday.
Yeah.
To be leading by that many runs. And without even looking, I think it's got to be the Padres right now. They have been scorching hot. I believe that they have the most wins right now in the month, the way it's going. Dodgers are pretty close to them. Although DeGrom, very good. Good sign for the Rangers in that spot against the Dodgers over the weekend.
Yeah.
And how about my guy, Jose Soriano? He's now down to around 18-1 to win the Cy Young. He leads the American League in wins, quality starts, ERA, and strikeouts. Not bad. All right, very early predictions for the NBA playoffs coming up. Pats we like, numbers that stick out, bets